So, let's start active reading. How do you tell others that you are hungry? How? Oh, well. There are very different ways to do it, to show it. Maybe you use words. Yes, that's what we do. How? You may also communicate by making facial expressions or using gestures. Yeah, I do that too. For example, when I am hungry, and then suddenly I start smelling food. I do this, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm hungry. Well, it's not lunchtime yet, but I'm hungry, kids. I might make this face, I'm hungry. Okay, so that is, humans, we have different ways to communicate. We can do it with words, or we can do it with our facial expressions. Anyway, but what about animals? They cannot talk like us, so what do? Well, many animals, other than ants, communicate using chemicals that animals can smell. Scents are useful in communicating danger or finding mates. Cats, dogs, and other animals use scents to mark boundaries. Some animals communicate using visual cues. Cuttlefish change colors to send messages. Some animals use movement to send information. Japanese cranes dance to find a mate. Honeybees also perform a dance. The complicated wiggling honeybee dance tells the rest of the hive where food has been found. Okay, so look at these birds here. Okay, that is, they dance, to attract the other one, the mate. That's interesting. For example, kids, I have a cat. Its name is Snowball. And do you know, kids, that cats, they meow, but it's not because they communicate between them meowing. They don't do that. They meow because it's the way they communicate with us. So cats only meow when they want to talk or communicate with their humans. Okay? So if a cat meows you, like meow, meow, like this, it's because it's calling you. It wants to talk to you, wants to communicate to you something. Okay? And they use this way of communication, meowing, only with humans, not between them. Interesting, right? So next time you hear your cat meowing, it's because it's calling you. Or maybe he wants or she wants to say something to you or to the other members of the family. Okay? All right. So let's go to page 215. This part here. Fill in the blank, this part. And how do they know? List 3 ways that animals communicate with one another. So we said 1, sometimes they dance. 2, they dance. 2, they smell something. With the sense of smell. Okay? And 3, with different sounds or chemicals. They spread where they go. Okay? It's when for example, have you seen dogs that they pee in some places? It's because they are marking territory. That is how they let other dogs know they've been there. And it's a way of communication too. Okay, so of course, many animals communicate by making sounds. Howler monkeys, those monkeys that make lots of noise, birds and whales all use sound in order to communicate with other animals. Why is decoding animal communication so important to humans? Communication is key to all parts of animal life. Interpreting how animals communicate lets scientists understand how they live. For example, dolphins, they make a very special sound. And that is the way they can communicate. And they can be far from each other for many, many kilometers. Hundreds, thousands of kilometers. But they can reproduce a very specific sound And they communicate like that and they recognized one dolphin to the other. It's really amazing how animal life is. Okay, all right, let's go to page 216 and 217. Stage of life. Okay, look at this. Now, what do you see here? Do you see animals? Yeah, well, there is a duck, but here, these are humans. But you know, kids, we are also animals because we have animal cells. That's the reason. But of course, you know, we're different from animals, but in the end, we are the same. Okay, so stage of life. These young scorpions are different from their mother. How will they change it over time? Okay, do you see the scorpion here? Okay, so active reading. Just as you were once a baby and will someday be an adult, other living things also grow and change. All organisms go through different stages. These stages all make up the life cycle. Underline or highlight these two words, please. Life cycle of an organism. All humans start off as infants. All of us, we started like that. They grow into toddlers and then develop into children. Finally, humans grow into adults and then grow old. All right, here, kids, look at this, the life cycle of a human. Okay, infant, when it's a baby, then toddler. Do you remember, kids? Do you remember I told you the story? When my sister, my older sister, was a toddler and she wanted to have a toy so badly in a supermarket. And she was crying all the time, asking my mother, I want a toy like this. And she was always making a huge mess. And after 3 times, my mother was very, very worried. And the doctor advised her, okay, next time she does a mess like that, okay, pull her like this and, you know, the old school will work on this situation. And guess what? After 2 times, she never did a mess again. Do you remember, kids, I told you this story? When we were toddlers, a toddler is a child who is less than 5 years old. And that is a very critical age. That we're always running, you know, we were running, and when we went into a different place and we were in a supermarket or in a store and our parents were buying different things, like food, for example, and we saw a toy and we wanted it. We were like this, oh, Mom, I want this, oh, I want this, I want this, I want that. And mom says, no, because we didn't come to buy toys here. And we started making a huge mess. Remember, that is being a toddler. Okay, so then the other one is child. Okay, like you kids, you're still children. Huh? And you know something? For me, it's one of the best times in human life, being a child. So enjoy this time, kids, because being a child is so nice. Really, enjoy this beautiful time of your life. Okay, then you go to young adult. Like me. Okay. Young and wild. Okay, so like your parents do. They're still young, yes. Maybe you think, oh my God, they are many years old, but no, they're still young, believe me. And then a mature adult, like this one here. Maybe this. He looks like your grandfather, your grandparents. This is a man, also women, you know. They go to this stage of life, mature adult. Your grandparents, usually. Full of wisdom and experience. Okay, and they're lovely, especially with their grandchildren. Okay, so, all right, let's continue on page 217. Every life cycle begins with a fertilized egg. In some animals like birds or reptiles, the egg may be enclosed in a hard or leathery protective shell, from which the young hatch. The eggs of most mammals develop inside the mother's body. After a young organism develops from the egg, it will continue to grow. The development of an organism can happen very quickly, or it may take many years. The organism grows larger and changes as it develops. When it is an adult, it is able to live on its own. Now the organism can reproduce or make its own offspring. The organism will continue to age. Eventually, it dies. And this is the life cycle. So, in other words, two short-lived kids. So, humans, like animals, we are born, we grow, reproduce, and we die. That's it. That is the life cycle. Okay? Life cycle is like this. Okay? Remember, we are born, we grow, we reproduce, and we die. Okay? But during this period, we can do lots of things. Okay? So that's why, kids, you have to enjoy life always. Okay? And be happy of what you are, of what you have, and being with your families. Because time is very short in the end. So you have to make the most of your life to live the best you can. Okay? So this is what life is. Indeed. Okay? All right.